blows up that perception every week on Black and Right. Join John this Saturday afternoon at 4 when he pushes back against the left and its regressive, progressive agenda that tries to dictate how people should think or feel about politics. Listen to Black and Right this Saturday afternoon at 4 right here on AM 560. The Answer.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when pain is a part of everyday life. Relief Factor was created to help people address inflammation, which is one of the most common causes of ongoing aches and pains from aging, overexertion, or just daily living. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula, no prescription, no masking of symptoms, just real relief so you can keep moving forward. My pain almost stopped me. My hands were so bad I couldn't even button my own shirt. I couldn't paint, I couldn't write. And Tanya was the one who told me, I'm not listening to you whine anymore unless you try everything. Try Relief Factor. I did. It helped me get my life back. As America celebrates her 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. To commemorate, Relief Factor is offering a special patriotic price at $17.76, so you can pursue your happiness being pain-free. $17.76, 3-week quick starts ready for you right now. Relief Factor, because freedom just feels better without pain. Visit ReliefFactor.com. ReliefFactor.com. 800-4-RELIEF.
When the seasons shift, you need a heating and cooling team you can trust to keep your home just right. That's where Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, the original, comes in. This family-owned gem has been a local favorite for more than 45 years, sending only their own top-notch, highly trained technicians to your door. Whether it's a quick repair, a full installation, or anything in between, their work is unmatched, and their customer service feels like family. Keeping you cozy in the winter and cool in the summer, Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling delivers comfort you can count on. I've known Garrett and his family for years, and they are great friends of AM 560. Dial 847-545-1700 or visit arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. Mention AM 560 and enjoy 20% off your first service call. Again, go to arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, not the biggest, but absolutely the best.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer from the AM 560 Traffic Center.
The Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, that checks in at 1 hour. Stevenson, though, still wide open heading out. Stop and go on the Kennedy Express between Division and Fullerton. On the Eisenhower, it is an hour and 10, Post Office to 390. Stevenson going out, hour and 15 out to 355. From DuSable Lakeshore Drive and 55 South, crews remain on the scene of an accident right near I-80. Outbound Dan Ryan, 40 minutes. From the Jane Byrne interchange out to 95th Street, 394 southbound at Stager, that crash in the two right lanes. It's being moved off to the side. All the tollways and DuSable Lakeshore Drive remain jammed either way. Traffic is a service of Woodland Windows and Doors. Welcome a Woodland sales expert into your home. You'll get a no-pressure sale, a product expert, a design consultant, and someone who has your best interests in mind. Visit woodlandwindows.com to get started. From the AM 560 Traffic Center, I'm Jill Urchak.
Now, your official weather forecast from the Air Right Heating and Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight, expect mostly cloudy skies with the possibility of severe storms bringing destructive winds, flash flooding, large hail, and even a tornado. The low temperature will be 59. Moving into Friday, anticipate mostly sunny conditions with a breeze and lower humidity levels. The high temperature will reach 82 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. My hands are tied. I would help you. I would help you. We would pass the most common sense law in the country history. I would help you. But my hands are tied. I
can't do anything about it. We simply don't have the votes. Is that? Well, you saw Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, didn't you? Well, it's like that, only we don't have to do jack. We have to do guts on goal. Nobody, right? Mannequin, right? The forever bureaucrat, scum, fraud. How exactly is this ass hat, who you never heard his name, other than when Mitch McConnell would say, John, bring me that piece of paper, ass boy. Bring it to me. He was his page. He was his lapdog. Now, all of a sudden, he's the leader of the Senate.
Fire the parliamentarian and pass the SAVE Act. Doesn't have the votes to pass. Why firing the parliamentarian would create problems here. But are you worried that if you don't do what the president wants, that he's just going to criticize your leadership or perhaps withdraw support for your leadership?
That could happen.
Hey, stupid. Are you laughing at me? Hey, stupid! Never did anything, you half man. I'm talking to you. How did Joe Biden and the hornswoggler, who got her reputation with her clothes off, Kamala Harris, how did they pass the Inflation Reduction Act? That cost the American people $1.6 trillion and counting. The Inflation Reduction Act, which was a handout to all those phony green energy companies, like that fraud company Rivian. They had a good quarter last quarter. They did. You wouldn't know it, Megamind. They only lost $460 million. So far, that pretend company is in the hole $25 billion, of which your truck sucks. What do you think of that, dummy? Not only do I think it, the facts prove it. $25 billion in your front, in your financial crime, all brought to you by the Inflation Reduction Act. $1.6 trillion and counting. See, that's how these bust-out Newsom, whether it's that fat pig J.B. Pritzker, what a punchline you are. You almost look like a real bull. The lips, the Merlot, and the antidepressant drunk in New York. This is how they give it away.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative. Is adopted.
Oh! What about the filibuster? 60. What happened to the filibuster when the hornswoggler put your clothes on, whore, Kamala Harris? What happened when she broke the vote? $1 trillion on the debt to be stolen by the American people. What happened? With a hornswoggler, but I don't think you bat from that side of the plate, sissy. Where was John Thune and the Republicans? Where were you guys? Because rescue plan. Ooh, that sounds fantastic. What does that cost? $1.9 trillion. 2 fracking bills. A hair under $4 trillion. How did that work? Here's how that passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 50 and the nays are 50. Affirmative, and the motion is agreed to.
It's almost like the same thing. No filibuster, no speeches. No, I'd love to do it for you. Really, I'd love to do it. But I can't do it. And John Thune, you think Trump's laughing at you? The Democrats stay in position because, let's face it. You see how these low-living, low-character savages, how they live, right? In their ghettos. See, we can read, John. The people who don't vote Democrat can read. So pack your bags and go into Nancy Pelosi's office or go into Chuck Schumer's office. Go into Chuck Schumer's office and move right in there because you're a scumbag. You're a traitor, and you're doing what you want to do because you like these bills passing. You wet your beak too, right? Can't help but notice you got all those golf costumes on. How'd you make your money, John? You bust-out bum? Never worked a day in your useless life. Where's your money come from, scumbag?
Look, and it's a well-known fact around here. Sometimes, perhaps, not fully grasp around the country, but anybody who follows this process closely knows that we don't have the votes.
Kamala Harris, the hornswoggler, didn't need the votes. She didn't need the votes. The Democrats who are stealing our money in Rivian and every other fraud company, they didn't need the votes. And you know what happened after they passed this bill, this American Rescue Plan? Well, that's when the Democrat lawmakers, Democrat government employees, Democrat low-living life scumbags, thieves and frauds and rapists and pimps, even the ones that don't work for the government, just BLM. That's when they all cashed in.
Federal agents charged a second Georgia lawmaker with defrauding taxpayers through pandemic unemployment insurance. A grand jury.
Second, how many in Illinois stand? How many workers in one fracking building? How many workers in the Cook County stole from that? And John Thune and the Republicans, where were you? Playing naked twister in your office like the birdcage? That's where you were, isn't it? And there's a process. Only the process when we want to right the wrongs. When we not only want to right the wrongs, but we want to stop the steal. Then there's a process. You know who knows what this bill will do? Schmuck Schumer knows exactly what it'll do.
It's about voter registration. It allows ICE to kick tens of millions of people off the rolls.
Tens of millions of illegal votes that John Thune and the suckasses in their golf costumes all love to get their beak wet from the same money. They loved, John Thune loved, when the election was stolen in the light of day from Donald Trump because he knew, woo, we're going to really make some money now. You could get yourself one of those new costumes, you frickin'.
Totals being awarded to Biden and Jorgensen's totals being awarded to Trump.
After gaining access to a forensic image of the Dominion election management system in Mesa County, Colorado, IT experts demonstrate how easy it is to switch tens of thousands of votes from Trump to Biden in seconds.
And they all knew it in every state, and every rat scum elected Republican except a handful covered it up. You couldn't even say it. Don't say Dominion. Hey, Dominion. Hey, Dominion. Right here, you thieving rat Venezuelan company scum. Election stealers. Hey, Dominion and all the rest of it. Every Smartmatic. Ooh, let's not forget you scumbags. And then the old-fashioned ballot scum. The old-fashioned ones who stole it for Kamala Harris, who steal it right now in the light of day.
Learning more about the professional signature collector who agreed to plead guilty to paying homeless people to register to vote in Los Angeles. Brenda Lee Brown Armstrong admitted she used to pay people on Skid Row $2 or $3 to sign ballot initiative petitions and gave homeless people her address to use so they could register to vote.
And they knew it. Everybody knew it. She did it for 20 years. Wisconsin.
What we have found is that some of the voter rolls in the swing states are chock full of illegal aliens and other people who should not be on the voter roll.
Thank a Republican. You know who else would have been more than happy to kiss Mitch McConnell on the testicles? Adam Kinzinger. Ooh, he would have put his chapstick on. He loved it too. Not to mention Liz Cheney, the fruit of Dick Cheney's loins. Looking a lot like Nick Nolte in a mugshot. They loved it!
There's got to be some things that you're like, man, I wish I could tell the world about this.
Oh, there's a lot of things, but mostly with immigration. I wish people knew that we're letting in criminals daily.
The big issue for the Hill, for our region, is migration. So we poured a lot of money into Central America. Like how much? $4 billion over.
That was Kamala Harris in the tour to root causes, where she bribed corrupt Central and South American governments to send their schizophrenic morons, knowing full well schizophrenic, thieving, rapist morons would clearly be Democrats.
Raquel Rodriguez, how are you doing? This is James O'Keefe with Project Veritas. We have you on tape admitting to coercing voters and bribing voters with gifts. This is you on video telling someone who to vote for, which is a violation of federal law and state law.
Now, you know, on here, you chose a Republican, not a Democrat, right? Can I do that? You can vote for whoever you want, but our conversation that we had, you said you were voting for a hater because you were going straight Democrat. So that way you're voting for the straight down. And she was like, well, yeah, you know what, you're right.
And then she changed, she was clearly voting for John Cornyn.
Do you think it's okay to change people's votes for them like you did with Ms. Do you think that's acceptable?
I refuse to talk to you right now.
You're on.
She pleads the fifth, the dirty whore, with the video evidence. There's your big fat ass. I could tell it's you. You have a love handle on your face, pig. There you are, instructing and changing the vote. I plead the fifth. And it reminded me today of Hakeem Jeffries, who clearly not only has sugar in the tank, he is full-blown at a Diddy party with a poor, young, illegal alien boy with a Fidel Castro hat on, shivering. And nobody cares. That isn't me saying it, by the way, Megamind. That's Shaun Puffy, Diddy Combs, whatever the frack that sissy calls himself, implicating Hakeem Jeffries, the most powerful Democrat in Congress, during his own defense. And nobody wants to ask him about it. And then to prove me and Shaun Diddy Puffy Combs, whatever the hell his name is, right, he showed up to a Knicks game in a pink hat.
Earlier in the week, you told me that there is no election fraud happening in California and that anyone who questions the outcome of the election is a conspiracy theorist. However, there are now homeless people on Skid Row admitting they were bribed with cash, drugs, other incentives to vote Democrat in elections. Does that change your stance at all on whether or not these elections are rigged?
Listen, I'm unfamiliar with those reports, and I wouldn't be surprised if those are part of some far-right conspiracy theory being peddled on the internet to try to...
Here's the deal, sissy. Here's what you have to understand. We don't need to steal anything. You need to steal elections to steal our money. We just want to get the frack away from your low-living ghettos. And we warn people before they become ghettos, don't vote for Democrats or they will be Chicago, which is the best example of what mafia political corruption can do to a thriving metropolitan area, the likes of which people used to be proud of, now just ashamed. But like your home city and state, New York, right? Same thing. Same thing in California. In fact, it's the same thing wherever your rat-thieving party is in charge of anything. 312-642-5600.
Marxists, socialists, and communists are not welcome on the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
Every morning, students and faculty fill your school's hallways. And every morning, parents trust you to know who's there with them. With ID Supply, that trust is earned and visible. From student and staff ID cards to secure visitor badge systems, ID Supply helps you instantly identify who belongs on campus at a glance, while keeping your entire facility safer. Visitor badges expire automatically, so no one stays longer than they should. And parents, they can feel confident knowing their school has a system in place. Need supplies? We've got you covered. ID card printers, ribbons, and custom lanyards in your school colors. Most orders ship same day. Parents, if your child's school doesn't have a visitor ID system, ask them about ID Supply, because knowing who's on campus shouldn't be a question. Get 10% off your first order with code SCHOOL10. That's SCHOOL10. Visit idsupply.com or call 800-647-5562. Again, that's 800-647-5562. ID Supply. Trusted by schools for over 20 years.
Your kitchen's outdated. Your bathroom feels cramped. Every day you wait, prices go up. And you keep living in a space that doesn't work. At Forever Remodeling, one team handles everything. Design, planning, and installation, start to finish. We show you your new space in 3D before we ever break ground. No surprises. With flexible financing options, the home you want is closer than you think. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4, everremodeling.com to schedule your personalized in-home design consultation.
On Salem News Channel, principled voices are shaping today's conversation. Scott Jennings brings clarity to the toughest debates. Josh Hammer's blistering commentary puts politics and culture on trial. And Alex Marlowe's insight connects us to what matters most. Watch anytime on Samsung TV Plus, Pluto TV, or find us on your screen at snc.tv. 3 new shows, 1 powerful lineup. Salem News Channel, across America.
We work a lifetime to build a legacy for our families.
But the most enduring gift you can give them is the peace of mind you provide when they need it most. When you pre-plan your arrangements at Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago, you replace the weight of uncertainty with the gift of clarity. Secure today's costs and protect your family from making emotional and financial decisions at the time of need. It's a final act of love they'll never forget. Visit CatholicCemeteryChicago.org or call 708-236-5407.
You didn't want to buy gold when prices were rising. Then you waited when gold pulled back. Now you're stuck in the middle, unsure what to do next. Speak with a precious metal specialist now at NobleGoldInvestments.com. Get the answers you need to stop guessing and move forward with confidence. Their team makes it simple to gain real investor knowledge and insight. Stop trying to time the market. Start spending time in it. Don't let the market move without you. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com. That's NobleGoldInvestments.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
And Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce it, Shanga Kawawa.
And at that moment, he soiled his trousers in front of the nation for the 9,000th time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
You fracking dumb son of a pig. And a well-known traitor and thief. A well-known traitor and thief. Election thief. Fraudster scum.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
Now, this Fox Business exclusive. Hunter Biden and a former Biden aide invested in 2 Chinese companies with ties to the top levels of the Chinese Communist Party and its military.
How'd he do that? He was smoking crack on Thursday. How the frack did he do that? Because when the stammering, stuttering, gaga smelling fraud was in the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, that's where he lined up the bagman's son. You scum filth.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
And that's how you stole it. What happened to the scumbag who wanted to be my patriot? Hey, Adam. Hey, scum. The only thing worse than that traitor thief is the people that support him like you. You don't matter. Just stay in your frickin' ghetto. Everywhere you go, it's chaos and despicable. Nobody but other scumbags wants to ever be around a Democrat. Jim in Lake County.
Namaste, Shaun. Namaste.
What happened there? What happened? He wanted to compare patriotism. Hey, you know what I like too? They talk about that Nazi pig in Maine. You know what they say? He was a veteran. So was Benedict Arnold. I don't give a rip what he was. He's a piece of dung. But go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. I'm just looking at my calendar. I'm counting down 142 days till Halloween, and you got vampires. Yeah, only 142. That's amazing. But you got vampires in California even. And if you think about it, the California politician needs the blood of the homeless in order to survive.
Of course they do. They can't wait to steal and rob in the name of something. Do you know, Jim, what's funny as we go through this count? Do you remember how the Hornswoggler was elected? And when I say this to you, I don't just mean the greatest office whore story in history.
He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women. And
there she is when she worked in the DA's office in San Francisco. He won the mayor's race that night. The old lady's at home with her corns up in the air, celebrating at 62. And here he is with the office whore, making twice what her boss made. That's the only reason you know that pig's name. But do you know how she got in the election? The same way you see right now in 2010.
4 weeks after the November 2nd election, California finally has declared a winner in the Attorney General race. Harris finished so close to her Republican opponent that it took a month to finish counting every vote. She won by less than 1 percentage point.
That's how she won. The crackhead.
So was that pre or was that pre or post BMW?
Oh, that was post-PMW. She got it after the first or second Hornswoggle. When she included the testicle. You nuts? We'll buy her a car. What do you need? Get her a Beamer. I think he bought her a Mercedes, too. Yes, he did. That's Kamala Harris's real achievement, aside from being the tie-breaking vote in the Senate to thrust upon the backs of the American people $4 trillion, which would be stolen in not even that creative of ways.
Are telling Fox she faced retaliation after sounding the alarm about fraud inside the state government, as the White House refers top Minnesota Democrats like Governor Tim Walz for a potential criminal investigation. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin, live from Chicago with the latest. Hi, Mike.
And, John, there's been a lot of recent developments with the House Oversight Committee releasing their findings. The vice president is calling on the Justice Department to investigate whether Minnesota officials harassed or intimidated whistleblowers. And a state employee tells Fox she faced retaliation for speaking up.
This would be news if you weren't in a Democrat area where you expect the government to steal. If you weren't in Chirac, or New York, New Jersey, Philly, California, this would be big news. In other words, what the implication is that the very government who is supposed to protect the money, who is supposed to enforce the law, when the person who spotted the stealing of billions and billions and billions of dollars went to her superior and said, they're stealing the billions of dollars, the superior said, shut your mouth. That's third world, Central and South America, Cuban, Soviet Union, or American traitor, American Nazi socialists and Marxist areas. It's all the same.
Bernstein is her name, a 20-year state employee who worked in behavioral health services. She says she warned state leaders about weak oversight of contracts and grants years before the fraud scandals came to light. Bernstein says she was eventually sidelined, ostracized, and placed on investigatory leave. She told the House Oversight Committee she worked in an environment where employees feared being labeled racist for questioning fraud or mismanagement.
Racism? I don't give a rip what color you are. It's your character. And see, Andrew from Chicago, did he sound like a Caucasoid? Honey Bunny, did he sound like a blue-eyed white devil? The blue-eyed white devil! You have the same character of all the people that steal from us. You steal too. In fact, every communist founder, white as Elizabeth Warren, white as Ed Burke's ass, every Marxist and socialist, all white. You have the same character of all the Islamo-Nazis that steal from us and all the other races that steal from us. And that's the character of a thief. Every socialist, Marxist, communist, and American Democrat, that's your character. And that's it. Ooh, and let's not forget all the scandals you're tied to.
Catherine Remler, who was the Obama administration's White House counsel.
11,500 emails.
What the f***? Does she do nothing all day long as the White House counsel other than chit-chat with Jeffrey Epstein?
Nobody talks about the connection with Barack and Larry Sinclair. 312-642-5600.
He's Shaun Thompson.
Hello, Mr. Thompson.
And this is the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
RedState.com captures the pulse of grassroots conservatism. Red State staff of contributors are on top of breaking news with stories and analysis that challenge the established agenda. RedState.com educates, motivates, and activates passionate conservatives across America, arming them with the facts that put them ahead of the political curve. No wonder RedState.com is a must-read for elected officials and for citizens who want to make their vote count. RedState.com is the place where influence meets action. Log on to redstate.com today.
Picture warm Gulf breezes, turquoise waters, white sand beaches. Now, add evenings of conversation with Salem Media's Mike Gallagher, Scott Jennings, Larry O'Connor, and Jennifer Horn. This November, sail from Fort Lauderdale to the Bahamas, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and Mexico on a 7-day journey built for those who love this country. Book your cabin today when you text the word cruise to 94878. Celebrate America's 250th anniversary the right way on the Gulf of America Cruise. Book your cabin now. Text the word cruise to 94878.
Your home or business has storm damage and you have an insurance claim.
Call Crush
Crosscom Construction and Public Adjusters. Today, insurance companies are notorious for offering way too little money to repair damage to your home or commercial building due to wind, hail, tornado, floods, or fire. Crosscom works for you, not the insurance company. As licensed adjusters, Crosscom will work to get you the money you deserve, the maximum payout.
Call Crosscom.
630-871-5500. After they get you the fair insurance company result, Crosscom can start doing your repairs. Crosscom is a full construction and restoration company that will get your property back to its pre-loss condition, getting your life back to normal. Roof, siding, windows, doors, fire restoration, Crosscom does it all.
Call Crosscom.
Licensed in Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana, and Wisconsin.
This is Dan Leitz with Crosscom. We share your conservative and Christian values. Let us handle everything. It all starts with a call.
630-871-5500. CrosscomPublicAdjusters.com.
312-642-5600 for the good people, for the decent, for the people of high character, the low character, thieves, frauds, liars, and cheats. Don't call. You mean nothing, and your opinion is useless. 312-642-5600 for the good people, after Mike Scott.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Scott in the QC Kinetics newsroom. Significant risk of damaging storms this afternoon with a high near 84. And the National Weather Service has upgraded today's severe risk for storms to a level 4 of 5. Fire crews battled an extra alarm apartment complex fire on Chicago's southwest side this morning. The blaze broke out in the 4500 block of South Laughlin. 2 were injured along with 2 firefighters. The next round of Cook County property tax bills will be delayed by 2 months. They're normally sent out in July. Cook County Board President Toni Preckwinkle announcing she plans to reopen a no-interest loan program for government bodies that depend on property tax. Iran being warned by President Trump that the U.S. will hit the country hard, perhaps their oil center of Karg Island.
I don't know that America has the stomach for it, to be honest with you. You're going to make a fortune.
The World Cup kicks off today, the global soccer tournament taking place in North America for the first time since 1994. The news, a service of the AM 560 store, T-shirts, hoodies, and more at 560theanswer.com/store. Next, news at 5. Continuous news, traffic, and weather coverage at 560theanswer.com. Up next, in the AM 560 Traffic Center, a look at the roads with Jill Urchek.
On the outbound Eden, you're okay. The inbound trip, 38 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, 48 minutes. Slowing in the Express Division to Irving Park. Outbound Eisenhower, 1 hour. Post Office to 390. And the Stevenson outbound, 50 minutes to 355. Southbound 55 at I-80. Accident blocking 2 lanes. Dan Ryan, 30 minutes going out. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, solid either way, along with the Tri-State, but the Jane Addams still looks good. You will see tie-ups eastbound Reagan into the Tri-State, and southbound 355 is also heavy as well. 8094 eastbound jammed from the 4 to Kennedy Avenue. Route 53 northbound, there is road work slowing things down from the Eisenhower to Kirchhoff, so that's happening there, along with delays on 394 southbound at Stager, where traffic cleared from an earlier crash. From the AM 560 Traffic Center, I'm...
Now, your official weather forecast from the Air Right Heating and Cooling.
Of severe storms bringing destructive winds, flash flooding. 59. Moving into Friday, expect mostly sunny. Will reach 82. I'm meteorologist.
The latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560 The Answer.
Millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks. Learn more.
Personal loans with credit card debt at all-time highs. Debt relief to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loan. Cost of living skyrockets. Debt relief. What debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this, or 800-522-2174. 800-522-2174.
Criminals feel more and more bold. They have no fear. Anyone with a family should do. I called Goldilocks. Has been protecting Chicagoland homes and businesses for. Technician comes out to the house. He takes a look at what you need to make your house a smart home with. And my family. Motion sensors, smart locks, cameras, monitoring, all custom. And I did it by calling Goldilocks. I trust Goldilocks to keep. Dave, tell them Shaun Thompson sent you, and Goldilocks will include 3 months. Goldilocks at 708-889-5600 or visit them online at GoldilocksInc.com.
Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. Sports memorabilia. DonleyAuctions.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
The Chicago, am I? Chicago isn't what it was when we were there. And when I say there's no business, there's nothing. What's there? What's there? Buildings are selling. And the reason is the mafia, the cancer of corruption. And moreover, the character of the Chicagoan. A week ago, Honey Bunny, and it's a beautiful Buckingham fountain. And I guess they do. The mother and the baby are not blue-eyed white devils. Surrounded by other Chicagoans. And she's yelling.
Okay, this is a difficult story here.
On camera.
The mother says a man exposed himself. Yeah, well, plenty of people around. Tia Ewing is here.
Absolutely upset about everything that unfolded here, but she wanted. What's even more frustrating is the response afterwards. Already gone.
That's how the media. Let's call them what they are. Spy. Standing there doing nothing.
The moon. Yeah. Come on. Come on, Soldier. You know, I kept the camera on because I was in shock, but he exposed himself to my son, and I was just in shock for like 3.
Wait a minute. Let's fast forward to yesterday, in case you're not aware of a Scottish guy in Ireland, and the Irish find Democrat Irish. The Democrat back in Ireland. Boy, oh boy, they remind me more of the ones I like here.
Don't ever take your You deserve what you just got. I'd advise you to get up off the street, get your
Now that's how you know he's religious. Because he let him live. Alien, immigrant, whatever the frack you want to call him. because he beat him in the next year. That's why. So get ready for the Islamo-Nazi story.
Overseas now, and a barbaric act fighting for his life, having almost been beheaded. A Sudanese refugee has been arrested with news of his immigration event into a chaotic and ugly night across. Warning, some of the content you're about to see is
with a knife to his throat. An attempted beheading on the streets of Belfast. Barely alive as bystanders attempt to buy their way.
The saddest part about it is he was allowing him, he was helping him move. Uncivilized, low IQ, Islam. That he saw his head out. He was sawing his head out. I don't know how the fracking guy lived or is alive to this. Don't watch the video. Don't watch the video. Why not? Show the video to everyone. What happens when you deal with the intellect living?
Get up! Get up! The seriously injured victim survived. Now in police custody.
The victim was taken to hospital with significant injuries. The suspect, a man in his 30s, who we now understand to be
Revelations: the knife-wielding man was a migrant. An island.
And all of the politicians, like the ones here, knowingly and wittingly. We like it better when you're always the victim, just like in Chicago. It's the same exact thing. And it unfortunately is money. As these bills in the Inflation Reduction Act, illegal aliens.
The Holiday Inn Chicago Mid 3 South Cicero Avenue hit the market for $20.5. But here's what they're not telling you up front. This hotel, since 2023, Chicago has been leased. The Holiday Inn near Midway became one of the major mall and less than 2 miles from the airport. Shelter, the owners, IHG, with the help of Josh Tammon from Marcus and Millichan, investors might inherit the migrant crisis, or the property could be flipped back into the regular hotel.
Towards illegal aliens to fluff up the revenue of the fraud property. Democrat broker. He'll do it. They'll do anything. And then when the results come out of their corruption, then all of a sudden they're upset about it. Like the parking meter scandal.
A group of Chicago aldermen is saying they plan to vote on-street parking meters to a new owner. But is there really anything these aldermen